I just played every Doom game ever, including the new Doom Dark Ages. It all started with the first Doom in 1993. Fun fact, Doom was originally released on the MS-DOS operating system and didn't make it to consoles until a year later. I'm DOSed out, boys. I can't do that DOS version anymore. Every time you move the mouse to aim, the character moves too. The original Doom is famous for being one of the best and most influential video games of all time. So let's find out why this is called the grandfather? No, more like crazy uncle, actually. Of FPS games. The best thing about Doom is that from the very start, it was just a relentless experience. Now, this is the version where you can aim without moving your whole body. Hey. Ow. Doom is just about as pure as an FPS can get. There are no instructions, no aiming down, no reticle, no hand-holding of any kind. This is some real masochist alpha stuff. Right off the bat, you're thrown into the middle of non-stop onslaughts. Your character, Doom Guy, real creative name there, boys, is a space station marine on Mars where secret teleportation experiments have accidentally opened the portal to hell, and demons and other monsters have escaped and run rampant in the science building. Yeah, Doom Guy's sent in as part of a military response team, but obviously the rest of your team dies. Even the soundtrack slaps and is the perfect complement to a relentlessly fast and pure FPS game like this. But one of the best things about Doom are the enemies. God, I'm gonna regret saying this very soon. Each enemy forces you to do something different to survive. Basically, X does Y, so you gotta do Z. With some, like these swollen, meatball-looking angry wrinkleberries, you have to keep moving constantly if you want to avoid dying. But you know what's really nice? Keeping your guns for the next level. Except if you die, you start off with the pistol again, and at that point, you might as well just be shooting them with spitballs.
Oh, hell no, man.
The most interesting thing is the environment is shown in 3D graphics, with enemies and objects rendered at fixed angles in 2D. Enough of that technical mumbo-jumbo. Doom is so important that without it, we wouldn't have COD or Battlefield or this. That last one might actually be a good thing. But Doom didn't just inspire an entire genre of games, it also led to the modding scene and speedrunning, which I'll get to more in just a second. There's also a multiplayer mode where you could team up to play together or try to kill each other, but the internet was barely getting started back then, so if you wanted to play multiplayer on your PC, you had to cram into a room with a bunch of other sweaty dudes like some locker room, except everybody in there is about as athletic as a retired nun.
A milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
These were known as LAN parties, so the big question is, how successful was Doom? Very. It was estimated to have been played by 20 million people by 1995 and sold 3.5 million copies by 1999. But most importantly, it was more popular than Windows 95, which is really saying something because stores didn't even sell Doom at the time, so you had to either mail order it or download it through shareware. Oh, before I forget, in 1995, an enhanced version of Doom was released. Known as Ultimate Doom, it includes the original 3 episodes, plus a brutally difficult 4th episode called Thy Flesh Consumed. That's a sweet-sounding thing you read to a kid before putting them to bed. This bonus episode was designed for those real Doom veterans, and it ramps up the challenge with tougher enemies and even spicier level design. Can Doom's sequel live up to the original? Oh no. No. That's the last thing you want to see when you open this door. Well, a year later, Doom 2 was released. And unlike OG Doom, this one was actually sold in stores. But there was a problem.
Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem.
The 600,000 copies they shipped out were supposed to last 3 months. They barely lasted 1. Once again, the game was originally released on the MS-DOS and a year later on the Mac OS. What is MS-DOS? I mean, was it just secretly the best thing to play Doom on?
Yes.
But the biggest question on everyone's mind was, what's new in Doom 2? Well, for starters, the levels are way bigger, which is not always a good thing. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, God, some of the maps are just vile. There's also way more enemies, like the Revenant, which is this skeleton rocket launcher hybrid thing. Archvile, who summons enemies and sets you on fire with his mind. And most importantly, new weapons. Oh yeah. But unlike today where a franchise can make massive changes in a year like God of War or Resident Evil, or no changes at all in like 10 years like COD, Back then things were different, but given that this was released a year after the original, the graphics and gameplay are not very different, but the devs did focus on making bigger and more intricate levels to take advantage of the advances in computer hardware. And I'll get to why that's not as good as it sounds in a sec. What in the creepypasta subreddit is this? Bro. Doom 2 picks up where Doom left off, with Doom Guy returning to Earth and finding out that it was also invaded by demons and that the entire population has pretty much been wiped out. The plot is... Wait, am I seriously about to talk about the plot in a Doom game? Anyways, turns out unfortunately the demons are blocking the spaceport that the surviving humans need to launch a giant spaceships that they will now live on. So surprisingly, you end up being the last human left on Earth and need to find a way to close the demon portal, and so you decide to do the obvious thing.
Oh, hell no.
Journey to hell to do it. Yes! Yes! But let's talk about the thing you really care about. The fan favorite super shotgun. I mean, come on, it has super in the name. This thing's 2 barrels of testosterone boosting awesomeness that turns demons into meat confetti. Okay, this gun is insane. This is incredible. But the worst thing about Doom 2 are the levels. Surprisingly, it had 30, but there are so many secrets in this game, even the levels are a secret. I literally don't know where I'm supposed to go next. Because there's 2 more levels hidden in level 15, so it brings up the total to 32. It doesn't matter. This is just bad level design. I mean, look at this. You need a blue key to open this door. Okay. I need a blue key for this door. I need to... God, wait. All these keys. Why do I need so many keys? Some of these levels are so convoluted and sprawling, beating them just feels tedious and annoying instead of fun.
This is fun for me!
Honestly, just give Doom the enemies and guns from Doom 2 and you have the perfect game. Just please take those Doom 2 maps out back. Oh, also the soundtrack in Doom 2 is fine. But Doom 2 did manage to sell more than 1.8 million copies and is also considered to be one of the greatest video games ever made. It was actually so successful that it was the best-selling software in 1994. Suck it again, Microsoft. But before I get to the next Doom, before there were communities like there are today, and before DLCs and expansion packs were a thing, id Software did something really interesting. They contracted a bunch of devs, the kind that drink kombucha in offices, and the kind that drink Mountain Dew Code Red in basements,
Hush your mouth. I told your mother.
and brought them together to create 21 standalone maps known as the Master Levels for Doom 2. Honestly, most of these are fine. Some are weird, some are interesting, but some I wonder genuinely if the guy who made them actually sat down and played them. And that's one of the most beautiful things about Doom. No, not the map thing. I mean, sure, annihilating demons with awesome weapons is any man's love language, but the fans in the community, and I'll get to some of the crazy ways they show their love for this franchise later, is what makes Doom so legendary. So how about Final Doom? Well, we got the answer in 1996. Yeah, right, about as final as Final Fantasy or Fast and the Furious. Except people actually want more Doom. The weirdest thing is, even though Windows 95 was already out at this point, they decided to release it on the MS-DOS again. I swear, something about MS-DOS just gets the Doom team bricked up. Surprisingly, Final Doom was initially a fan project that turned into a full game endorsed and sold by id.
I own you now.
Consisting of 2 expansion packs, each with 32 levels. But these 2 couldn't be any more different. The first, TNT Evolution, created a more traditional, structured Doom 2 style experience. But the Plutonia Experiment? Oh boy.
These are terrible names.
This one's like having Terry Crews and a drill sergeant for parents. Plutonia's famously brutal, with tougher enemies and tighter level design. This is the definition of relentless. In TNT, the morons whose experiments opened the portal to hell decided to restart experimenting with dimensions because that's such a good idea, right?
Yeah. True.
So they end up setting up a base on one of Jupiter's moons with a bunch of space marines there for protection. Things are going well, with the space marines able to fight off the enemies who come from the first gateway until a spaceship from hell turns up on their radar and kills everyone on the planet. Except you, because you were out for a walk. That's why doctors tell you to go for walks.
You're pregnant. And so are you.
In Plutonia, the global government start working with the UAC to develop tools to prevent these demons from constantly invading, and they actually end up developing some device that closes these invasion portals, and the thing actually works, initially. But it turns out not to be enough because all the gates of hell just open at once. Also, this really chill giant demon over here, I guess he's called the Gatekeeper, guards the last gate and has the power to open new hell gates. So your objective is to defeat the Gatekeeper, and along the way you end up defeating, unintentionally, like tens of thousands of other demons. But unlike its predecessors, Final Doom didn't do that well. With GameSpot calling it a waste of money because it's just basically new maps for Doom. Yeah, obviously, because the first thing you think of when you see Doom is this thing needs more maps. GamePro criticized it for not having new maps or weapons, but the fans are a different story. Some loved TNT but hated Plutonia, some loved both, some hated both. A lot actually hated both. But if there's one thing we're gonna learn about Doom fans is they will run Doom on a potato, a fridge, or your grandma's pacemaker. Like, there's no way. No. Somebody actually did that. Up next is Doom 64, released exclusively on the Nintendo 64 in 1997. But unlike other Doom games so far, this one was made by Midway. And if you don't know who Midway is, good.
I want you to tell me the truth.
Because Midway is famous for creating more problems and scandals than any actual good games. But they did the unbelievable here with Doom 64. God, what is that festering little tank goblin? Oh. Oh. This is madness. What was that? First thing, the menu is more minimalist than a divorced dad's apartment. This time you get 28 levels and 4 secret levels, and they're actually well laid out and mostly enjoyable. But finally we get updated graphics. Yeah, nothing like going from 4-bit to 8-bit to get me all fizzy down there. There's new sprites, textures, and dynamic lighting, making the dark stuff real dark. I really love the creative names they come up with for the difficulty settings. But let's talk guns. Even the weapons from Doom 2 got graphical and sound upgrades. I mean, I'm talking real big changes here, boys. The chainsaw here, for example, 2 blades instead of 1. Ketchup-stained gloves, and a sparking sound from the plasma gun. Oh yeah, big changes. But Doom knows what we really want. More new guns.
Hey, yeah! Ha!
So they give us the Unmaker, which was actually originally supposed to be in the original Doom, but was never put in, and you can upgrade it as the game progresses by finding 3 ancient artifacts throughout the game. Fully upgraded, it's an awesome weapon that can hit 3 enemies at once, doing massive damage. The story picks up after the end of Final Doom, where a new policy was made to quarantine the UAC research installations with huge amounts of radiation. Yeah, that sounds safe. It actually worked for a while. Or did it? Out of nowhere, Earth received a message from a satellite that something went undetected and resurrected the dead demons. I swear Doom brings back more demons than Netflix brings back cancelled shows for a season. So obviously they send you in alone to kill all the demons. Good, more for me. But it turns out that the demons planned for that all along, except you don't realize that until you've already been lured back into hell. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's not like you care either way, you're Doom guy. The worst part of this game is the soundtrack. When I'm busting through a hallway blasting demons, I want to hear At Doom's Gate. There is no better, more iconic combination than fast heavy metal and destroying demons. It's as iconic as burgers and fries or 15-year-old TikTokers and dropshipping.
Damn, damn, damn!
But unlike prior Doom games, Doom 64 did not include a multiplayer mode because everyone's favorite console maker and lawsuit factory, Nintendo, did not provide the needed resources for the devs to program a multiplayer mode. I mean, just give them more Patagonia vests and a kombucha sommelier. Now, most fans will agree that Doom 64 was great. It looks great, it plays great, it makes me feel all fizzy down there. Honestly, Midway had no right making a Doom game this good. Now, obviously, there's gonna be haters saying that it wasn't different enough from Doom.
I don't care!
They're really gonna love Doom 3. Now, you know a Doom is good when fans start making a lot of mods for it. Several fans made PC ports and mods for the game as the original release was only available on Nintendo 64. And that controller, let's be honest guys, is about as FPS friendly as 2 sticks of butter. The worst part was there was no official release on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox until 2020. Almost 8 years would go by before we get Doom 3. Now usually when a franchise takes this long to release something, they release a banger. But will that be the case here? Well, it actually turns out Doom 3 is one of the most controversial Dooms, so let's find out why. First off, the biggest thing you'll notice is that it's different than any other Doom game up till this point. Unlike Doom and Doom 2, Doom 3 is slower, darker, and more of a survival horror experience than run and gun. I mean, it's not like Doom and Doom 2 or My Little Pony simulators. There were some moments that genuinely scared me. A secret area? I don't want to find this secret area. But Doom 3 has actual jump scares. It kind of feels like playing one of those Alien games with the claustrophobic environment and the dark lighting. This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. This is straight nightmare fuel fever dream stuff. But the worst thing about this game, the thing that really rustles my wrinkleberries, is that you can't use your flashlight and gun at the same time. And instead of hordes rushing you, they pop up from behind. I don't want to think about oxygen or stamina or batteries. I want to relax and run around blasting demons. Even ammo is more limited. I mean, it's not like you're gonna run out of ammo, but you're just not carrying as much as I want you to be. The biggest change is there's no Doom guy. You're some silent space marine dude who just got shipped off to Mars to babysit some sketchy science experiments. The UAC is messing with teleportation tech because that always goes so well.
Yes.
And they accidentally open a portal to hell. Where have I heard that before? Demons start pouring out, the base goes full haunted house, and you start engaging in some healthy male activities with a shotgun.
Oh, yeah!
Now there are some really awesome things in Doom 3. Built on id Tech 4, Doom 3 was a technical marvel when it first came out. I mean, look at this. The textures, the lighting, the shadows, all these little details. You can even see the wrinkles on this walrus-looking brother's Texas-sized gut.
I'm rich and I'm dead sexy.
Full disclosure, sometimes it did get so dark, I thought I was watching the last season of Game of Thrones again. Biggest tip, get a monitor that can handle black levels. Back in the day, this game was actually so scary that I distinctly remember trying to play it when I was just 9 years old. And I got so scared at one point, I launched back into my chair and flinged my mouse at my monitor. The worst part was I couldn't finish the game. So, is it good? Well, it's actually a great game, but it's not really a good Doom. By the way, let me know in the comments below which Doom game you think is the best. Things are about to change with the release of Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil in 2005. This one leans more into that classic run-and-gun Doom style with new guns, new enemies, and new tighter maps taking place on Mars base and Hell, and faster pacing. But let's start with the most important thing. The greatest gun ever is back. Yeah, the BFG is legendary and all, but nothing gets me all fizzy like these 2 barrels of Boom Boom. You also get a gravity gun and some demon hood ornament looking thing that slows down time, gives you super strength, and makes you invincible.
I like it.
So basically the same powers as a drunk redneck. Now let's talk about the demons. They're uglier than ever. I mean, look at this dumpster grundle over here. I honestly wonder what the dudes who came up with these demons were thinking or taking. Okay, so imagine Doom, but instead of running around blasting demons, you're moving tile by tile, like some turn-based dungeon crawler, and it's on a flip phone. That's exactly what Doom RPG gave you when it came out in 2005. But trust me, it's a lot more fun than it sounds.
No.
Plus, flip phones were incredible. So basically, you move in a grid, fire your gun, and then the demons would take their turn, kinda like if Doom and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon had a baby. A weird, scrote-looking demon baby. But don't worry, you still get all the classic Doom vibes. Monsters, keycards, and over-the-top weapons, but with a slower, more puzzly style. The story was surprisingly solid too. You're a security officer investigating some sketchy UAC experiments. Classic. And naturally, everything goes to hell. Literally. There's even dialogue and character iterations, which is wild for a Doom game. This was peak flip phone era. Oh, we're not done with phone Dooms yet, because in 2009 we got Doom Resurrection. Basically an on-rails theme ride through Demon Disneyland. Now, given that it came out during the very early days of the iPhone, controls needed to be very simple. So you pretty much just aim and shoot, and sometimes if you're lucky, you get to duck and reload. Surprisingly, this game is a pretty good way to burn a few hours and ignore that dude who's casting spells on the bus. Oh, I forgot about the story. You're a space marine, and you're working with a flying robot named Sam to escape the Mars base, and there's demons. It's Doom. There's always demons. But before we get to the first console game after 4 years and 2 phone games, we get another phone game in Doom 2 RPG released in 2009.
I'm done.
You get to pick between the Crimson Chin's brother, this nerd, and Kira Morgan, who looks like she binges motivational podcasts in her free time. The Super Shoddy is back, along with the chainsaw, fire axe, plasma gun, Big Daddy BFG, and a fire extinguisher? Yeah, because nothing says Demon Slayer like OSHA compliant safety equipment. I can't believe I'm saying this, but one of the coolest things is the puzzles. You get logic puzzles, code breaking, and hacking terminals. Honestly, they're kind of a fun way to break up the pacing and turn on your brain again. But finally, after almost 8 years, we get a real Doom. A console Doom. Or do we? Doom 3 BFG Edition released in 2012. Now at first this just looks like a revamped version of Doom 3, but there is some serious controversy with this one.
I like that.
The biggest change you'll notice is the lighting. While Doom 3 decided to use dark lighting to create an incredibly creepy atmosphere, BFG levels are way brighter because even though there's actually less lights, they decided to crank up the brightness to the max, which a lot of fans didn't like because that's what made Doom 3 a viscerally scary experience. There's also a lot more ammo. And the flashlight is now on your shoulder so you can use it alongside your guns. This is like going to the eye doctor and they do that test where they go, which one's better, 1 or 2? 3 or 4? And you just say a number because they all kind of look the same. You can't tell which one's better. Honestly, it feels like they wanted to fix things with Doom 3 that were never really broken.
Why?
The lighting, ammo, vibe, all of those things together made Doom 3 a really unique, good horror game. They weren't problems that needed fixing. They were just great elements of a different type of game. Sure, it wasn't a classic Doom game, but it was great for what it was. But anyways, I don't want to hate on BFG because it tried to take Doom back to its classic roots, so I'll leave that up to your interpretation. But BFG also gave us a mini campaign called The Lost Mission, which is pretty short. Like, really short. Like, I beat it in an hour or so, and I'm not even good at Doom. Oh, that's just great. That's just easy. So some people hated BFG because it made Doom 3 feel like less of a horror game, even though that's the exact reason why people hated Doom 3. Which actually just proves that there's always going to be haters no matter what, so you can never please everyone. But this next Doom might change that. 4 years later, we get Doom 2016. You play as the Doom Slayer, basically a dude who's just a ball of rage and some nice armor. The intro is just perfect. You wake up in a sarcophagus like some angry mummy, grab a gun, and rip off a demon's arm to open a door. This is how you set the tone. Yes! No build up, no BS, just straight non-stop carnage from the beginning. Honestly, one of the best things about this game is just how simple it is. There's no reloading and you're constantly sprinting, jumping, and dashing midair to avoid dying while mowing down demons in some really spicy ways. Honestly, the detail, the love, just the love put into this game it's incredible. Every weapon in Doom was designed with the sole purpose of dishing out over-the-top overkill. The get off my lawn shotty is back, and there's another shotgun because, come on, no one ever said, oh, there's too many shotguns in this game. There's a railgun that turns demons into salsa, the chainsaw, and of course the BFG 9000, which clears rooms like demon repellent. And if all that's not enough, they can be upgraded too. But my favorite thing is you don't get health or ammo by going through some awesome crate? No, because even that has to be savage. You get ammo through chainsaw finishes and health by glory-ending stun demons, which is melee finishing them in slow-mo after you soften them up a little bit. I mean, everything in this game is built around non-stop action. There is a story here somewhere, something about UAC, Portal, demons releasing, blah blah blah. But I love how even Doomslayer punches a monitor when someone tries explaining the lore.
Douglas, I don't want to hear any more of this stupidity.
Even the game knows why you're here. In terms of enemies, the gang's all here, but you do get these annoying goobers and revenants. Whoa, yeah, it's so great. It's so satisfying. I think part of the reason it's so satisfying is actually seeing the gore. The soundtrack is perfect. Composed by Mick Gordon, the symphony of guitars is the perfect backdrop against the sound of your chainsaw and the gritty sci-fi vibe of the world. But let's not forget about the awesome levels. Doom encourages you to explore the massive open worlds with secrets, weapons upgrades, armor tokens, and other neat little stuff hidden all throughout. The graphics are great, the guns are awesome, the aesthetics are fantastic. Almost everything is perfect. Doom is so back. Now what could possibly be better than Doom? Doom in VR. I swear if they actually pulled this off, oh my god, they did. Mostly. Oh, look at this. Yes. It's the greatest thing ever. This feels like an old Doom made into a VR game. I love how they didn't even slow any of the game down because of the whole VR element like most games do. No. Doom don't care. This thing's about as high octane as you expect a Doom game to be. No, why are they so accurate? Wah! The guns are awesome, the pacing is great, and most importantly, it's honestly a really good VR game. And usually most VR ports of big games are not good. This is really good. Now most of the maps are recycled from Doom 2016, but playing them in VR just hits different. Ew, what is that embryo looking? And that's great and all, but the best thing about doing Doom in VR is shooting demons in Doom in VR. I got a big rocket launcher for you, Big Chungus. This is amazing. I mean, the graphics too, the demons look gloriously ugly. This is my happy place. And most surprisingly, for a VR game too, the game is as optimized as an influencer's morning routine. Yes, there are problems, and I'll get to those in a sec, but I just have to try to explain to you guys what this feels like. Just imagine all those anger management activities you do in regular Doom, and now imagine doing all those fun things with your hands in VR with more adrenaline. But now we have to talk about the problem.
And modern problems require modern solutions.
The game is short. No, like really short. The whole thing takes maybe like 4 hours to beat, and there's not really a good story there or any replay value. I'll be honest, guys, I like a hard Doom game, but this gets so hard sometimes that you don't feel like this invincible, unstoppable being anymore. Probably because you're not actually Doomslayer at all.
Don't talk to me like that, please!
Guess just some dude who puts out his fires. Also, the guns are great, but where's the chainsaw? How can you not have the chainsaw in a VR Doom game? That's like having no cake, or even worse, vegan cake at a birthday party. But even with all these faults, this is still almost a perfect Doom VR game. Honestly, it had so much potential, and if it wasn't for the biggest problem being the controls, it would be perfect. Oh my god, like try to pick something up. But the fact that they make you do tasks when the controls and mechanics are so horrible, it just ruins the game, honestly. Let me give you an example. Turning, which is kind of something you need to do often in a Doom game, is about as frustrating as trying to do your taxes blindfolded. But I heard it's worse for some VR headsets and not as much for others. I mean, I had to fiddle with the controls for like 10 years, but now this is glorious. But let's talk about Doom fans for a second. Doom fans have done some seriously wild things. From creating hundreds, if not thousands of maps and mods, to beating Doom with a piano or like a pacifist, those aren't even the weirdest things. No, the real weird stuff is all the different things they've been able to run Doom on, including, and I'm not making any of this up, a calculator, a thermostat, pregnancy test, a printer, inside Minecraft, an ATM machine, an Apple Watch, and a toaster. Now I can't even joke about my old PC being a toaster because a toaster can actually run Doom. But none of that matters because this next one might be the greatest Doom, honestly maybe greatest game ever made. Or like top 10 at least. Anyways, Doom Eternal changed the gaming world when it came out in 2020. It picks up right where Doom 2016 left off and cranks it up like a metal album with the amp dial snapped off.
That's what I want.
They're not playing around this time.
Yes!
You play as Doomslayer, a thing so mad he never talks or takes off his helmet. God, the enemies. Oh, and when they blow up, you know you have a good game on your hands. And once again, your one-man army sent to turn demons into red mist. Basically take Doom 2016, add a bunch of fire, some awesome music, a little bit of Red Bull, a lot of Red Bull, and you get Eternal. In terms of gameplay, Eternal feels faster, more tactical, and somehow even angrier. It's not just about charging and blasting. I mean, it is, but there's more strategy involved too now. Ammo is more limited, so you have to get creative with how you get supplies. But as with any question involving Doom, the answer is usually always found inside a demon. God, the game is relentlessly hard. It is relentlessly hard. Oh, and speaking of demons, the Marauder's back and he's more annoying than ever. There's also new toys like the Meat Hook, which lets you go Spider-Man on demons. You get better movement with the ability to dash, and this awesome place, Doom Fortress, where you can go unlock stuff or just chill and listen to music. Even the controls are better, with movement being more intuitive and fluid. Everything just works.
Maybe you should.
But unlike most other Doom games, this one really leans into the lore with the Slayer's backstory and more stuff about Doom universe. And it's surprisingly deep. But the best thing about this game is Papa Mick Gordon serenading my ears with his aggressive Christian-friendly tunes. Even the maps are awesome. You fight in ancient alien temples, ice fortresses, in demon-infested cities, and each level feels like a puzzle and an arena at the same time, with hidden stuff everywhere. The game is so good, even the church supports it. But it turns out ending one god is just the appetizer, because with Doom the Eternal Gods Part 1, you now have to go deeper into hell, which means things are about to get hard.
I'm having a hard time.
No, seriously, boys, this thing is a gauntlet. This is video game Hell Week. The best way to describe this is cranking up Eternal to Nightmare mode permanently. I mean, even on normal, this bad boy doesn't mess around. There are no warm-ups, no tutorial, you're just thrown right into the middle of it like the devs just expect you to be some MLG pro-level masochist. Well, it actually turns out that this may have been done on purpose, and some even say that the whole DLC was designed for couch lizards who already mastered Doom Eternal. Oh yeah, and there's this Gooch Goblin over here who makes demons even tougher, so you gotta zap him with the plasma rifle ASAP. But the levels are awesome. You get temples, oil rigs, and cosmic battlefields, and can we just take a second and applaud the devs for their creativity in all this? So if you enjoy suffering, but like in the best way possible, then this game is for you. Part 2 releases a few months later, and the first thing you'll notice is if Part 1 was too hard for you, then Part 2 is easy. Way too easy. The vibe feels a bit different too, and more like an Avengers movie with you leading a resistance instead of being the usual lone wolf. And you get to find out more about Daddy Doomslayer and why he's angry all the time.
I'm always angry.
There's a lot to remind you that this is still Doom. You'll still get tight corridor chaos, but unlike other Dooms, you'll find yourself in sprawling outdoor war zones with many vertical layers. And I swear this game has more cutscenes than one of those Telltale Walking Dead games. There's also new enemies like this beautiful degen and this guy who's real annoying because once he hits you, your health won't regen until you end him. But nothing is as bad as this Dark Lord dude. Oh, he's a pain in the grundle.
It hurts a little, but I like it.
Fighting this guy is genuinely annoying because he just does the same thing over and over again, like that one homie you have who just button mashes the same thing in Mortal Kombat. Let's be honest, guys, storytelling was never Doom's strong suit, but nothing tries to hit as hard as this final cutscene. That same year, we got Doom 3 VR Edition, and it's an awesome game. According to people who have a PlayStation, because I don't have one.
You are just a poor tailor.
This game might be great, but it's not. I'm gonna go out and buy a PlayStation and a VR headset great.
Poor people problems.
Basically, it's a full campaign port of Doom 3, plus Resurrection of Evil and The Lost Mission, but this isn't Doom VFR, no. This is the first official Doom game to fully commit to VR, with full-on story mode, all the horror, jump scares, and wrinkly old demon guts. Even the gun models were redone for VR, including wrist-mounted displays for ammo. I want to play this so badly. Allegedly, it's even scarier because of the full VR immersion. It would be nice if I wasn't such a brokey.
You poor dumb bastard.
But before we get to the most anticipated Doom game ever, we got a real weird one here. It's another phone Doom.
Why?
But this one's all cartoony and squishy and ugh.
And so right when he said that, I was just pissed and disgusted.
Mighty Doom is a top-down light shooter where you play as this Cabbage Patch looking version of Doom Slayer called Mini Slayer. It's kind of cute. Wait, Doom's not supposed to be cute. Oh no. Even the demons are all cartoony and adorable. This is wrong. The game had dozens of stages filled with power-ups. There's upgrades for your armor and weapons, abilities, and a loot system. And it even had microtransactions. I mean, of course it did. Now, I was gonna play this game, but it turns out that it was actually shut down a year ago. But I think we can give him a pass on that because this next Doom coming up is the most anticipated Doom? Nay. Most anticipated game of the year. Oh, it's time for Doom, boys. Update drivers. God! Here we go. Oh, the soundtrack. What are these settings? Look at this. Hurt Me Plenty, yeah, Ultra Violence, we have that. Nightmare. Pandemonium. An Ultra Nightmare. As if Nightmare wasn't enough, like just to walk in the park. Oh, the graphics are incredible. It's perfect blend of gothically medieval, futuristic hell, things that people who wear plaid shirts at Starbucks and go to art school say. This is the greatest thing I've ever played. No way. Oh, this is one of the best parts of Doom. Oh, what is that? One of the best things to see in this game, besides almost anything in this game, is finding one of these chests because you know there's gonna be something amazing in it. This looks like something you'd get at Hot Topic. Oh, I'm gonna strike a lot of demons, baby. Oh boy, that's mincemeat. Controls are simple, just like all Dooms, but oh, this game is simple in the most beautiful way. Jumping down releases a force field that destroys people. You make use of everything. Your fist, your shield, everything is a weapon of absolute chaos. What? Someone sounds constipated over there. Oh, that's how you dry off after a shower. He's just swatting at him like it's a fly annoying him during a picnic. This is what it must have felt like during D-Day, to like be on the other side. But the thing I really like are all the bosses and all these different ways and things you have to do to try to take them down. I mean, most of them involve, yes, unloading whatever you have into them for like 5 minutes. This doesn't look like it's doing anything to you. But it's still extremely satisfying ending one of these guys when you have like 5 or 8 health left. Oh, that was close. I don't even know what the story is, to be honest, but the characters look badass, so...
Before one man. The demons are now targeting the Sentinel's energy relay.
Who is this Jabba the Hutt-looking gloob?
Yes.
I love how he doesn't know what that is.
Which prevents the demons from opening a portal into this world.
I like to imagine that there's a hierarchy at id Studio where somebody comes up with a brutal idea, like, hey, let's have a shield that you can toss and it just ends a bunch of demons. And then there's always somebody that has to tell them, but wait, put spikes on it. This game was made by men who decided to go out and buy as many of those giant cans of Monster Energy. You know those tall boys that only truckers and weird men drink? Yeah, those. Got into a room, turned on a bunch of incredible rock music, and coded a masterpiece of a video game. Oh my god, you can break the wall. Oh, that's fun. The maps are probably one of the best things about this game. Whoa! Where's Katy Perry when you need her? You have some where you're fighting in these tight, dark castle corridors and halls, and you have some where you're just out in a giant park-looking thing. But it's not a park because there's demons. If your park has demons, you should probably find a different park or leave a 1-star Yelp review. I mean, honestly, just when I thought I couldn't be surprised anymore, you have a map where you're flying around this giant Lord of the Rings-looking thing on a dragon. And a lot of people like to say, oh, Doom gets too repetitive. You're flying a dragon. This game never fails to surprise you. This is like Mortal Kombat and Tron having a baby. And just when you thought that there couldn't possibly be any more creative ways to end demons, they pulled the Transformers. Oh. Daddy Doom, slay her. Oh, this is the greatest level ever. Oh, that's why they had a bridge there. The devs are geniuses. That's mine, I think. Oh, no. No. I didn't think it could get better. The giant Transformer Power Ranger, and now he gets dual miniguns. This is it. The Super Shotgun pretty much ends almost any enemy in one hit. The most powerful guns in the game if you find yourself in a tight pickle, Impaler, Super Shotgun. That's it. No compromise, no argument. What is this name? Skull Crusher Pulverizer. I love how it feeds off of skulls. It's just the most Doom thing ever. Even the upgrades for the guns are mostly good. Some of them I don't understand why you'd need this, but, you know, or why it costs so much. But then again, bag of Doritos these days costs $7. So who's to say putting purple colored lasers in my pew pew isn't worth 250 gold bars? By the way, let me know in the comments below which Doom game you think is the best, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you.